2019 was a year of challenge and progress, and as the voice of the industry for over 30 years, the National Pork Producers Council advocated for the interests of American hog farmers, one campaign and one conversation at a time. We championed efforts to grow and protect exports around the world and worked relentlessly to restore zero-tariff pork trade with Mexico. We were successful in getting U.S. tariffs on Mexican metal imports lifted in order to get Mexico to drop its retaliatory 20% punitive tariffs on U.S. pork.
The Mexican retaliation was taking $12 an animal off the head of every hog sold in the U.S., so about $1.5 billion.
We celebrated a new trade agreement with Japan that puts us back on a level playing field with international competitors and paves the way for growth in one of our largest export markets.
We would be increasing our exports from $1.6 billion to $2.2 billion over the next 15 years, according to Iowa State economist Dermot Hayes.
We've been a lead advocate for the ratification of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, removing uncertainty that's hung over the industry for 3 years.
Canada and Mexico import 40% of our exports. So this is a really big market for us, over $2 billion in 2018. And what this deal does, it really provides that much-needed certainty for our industry that is so dependent on exports.
We highlighted the unprecedented sales opportunity in China as the world's largest pork-consuming nation struggles for reliable, affordable sources of pork, urging China to remove all restrictions on U.S. pork exports.
The lower the tariff, the more pork we're going to ship. And if we can get it zeroed out, which we've been asking the administration to try and do, pork alone would shave 6% off the trade deficit with China. Within 10 years, we would be exporting to China alone almost $25 billion worth of pork annually.
We stepped up our efforts to protect the U.S. swine herd from foreign animal disease. NPPC was the lead advocate for the Protecting America's Food and Agriculture Act, authorizing funding for more than 700 new agricultural inspectors at our ports of entry. We were instrumental in securing USDA funding for a Swine Health Information Center research project in Vietnam, providing a valuable opportunity to better understand African swine fever in a live outbreak setting.
We've had ongoing conversations with USDA, CBP, and other government parties, including Canada and Mexico, looking at how can we prevent ASF from coming to North America, not just to the U.S.
We scored a crucial victory when the 2018 Farm Bill included mandatory funding for a foot and mouth disease vaccine bank and continue to push for rapid implementation.
That's another thing we've been really active with this year, is trying to work with USDA to expedite the process of being ready to purchase vaccine and build our supplies of foot and mouth disease.
If we do have an outbreak, and if we have adequate vaccine, we can start vaccinating very quickly around the outbreak, and the Farm Bill money will help get a good start on that vaccine bank.
We also know how important common sense regulations are to your farming enterprises. That's why NPPC filed a lawsuit against the state of California, challenging a ballot initiative that bans the sale of pork raised anywhere in the country that doesn't meet the state's arbitrary production standards.
Practically all of the pork California receives comes from out of state, and the state, through this Proposition 12, is trying to impose its will on farmers. We're talking $2 to $3 billion in harm, and so we have challenged it. The Commerce Clause, the Constitution doesn't allow us to do this.
We pushed back on emerging plant-based products designed to mimic real pork, serving notice that we will protect the name of the nutritious and delicious product we raise with such pride.
Here at the National Pork Producers Council, we are very proud of our product, and we're also fine with competition as long as it's fair and on a level playing field. It's impossible to make pork from anything but a pig. We just want to raise awareness that these products, though they may claim to taste like pork, look like pork, are not in fact pork and are going to have to come up with a new name.
NPPC launched the Keep America First in Agriculture campaign, urging the Trump administration to move regulatory oversight of gene-edited livestock, an emerging technology with enormous potential production benefits, from the FDA to the USDA.
What the FDA is saying right now is that they're going to regulate the altered genome as a drug. FDA doesn't necessarily have a good understanding of how animals' genes move through herds, flocks, the marketplace, and how what they're doing is going to impact that. The USDA has the expertise and, more importantly, the existing authority.
We are the National Pork Producers Council, and we are more committed than ever before to serving your interests in the nation's capital and in export markets around the globe.